Yo, man, welcome back to the channel, man. We got how did Tokyo become the largest city on Earth? Let's get into it.
Tokyo, the largest city on our planet. It's almost impossible to totally understand how vast Tokyo is, with over 41 million people. Imagine that you take the entire population of Canada and you cram them into a single city. Anthony Bourdain once said, there's 15 or 20 different Manhattans in Tokyo.
What?
It's time for you to understand how Tokyo became the world's biggest city. If you're standing in the center of Tokyo, let's say at the Shibuya crossing, how long would it take you to walk from there to the lower density suburban part where people live like this, and then finally out to the rural area where it starts looking more like this? I went to Google Maps and I looked around to find the closest big green areas to the center of Tokyo, the ones that didn't look like parks, and I found them about here. That would be a 30-mile, 11-hour walk from the center.
11-hour walks? Just to get to like the suburban, like the rural areas, 11 hours, bro. Do people really walk that for real, like 11 hours in Japan? Probably not, but I mean, you never know.
And even once you get to those areas, there's still a lot of city beyond them. It's still very dense. If you wanted to get to the mountains, that would again be another 11-hour walk. How the hell do people get around a city of this scale? More than half of the 41 million people in the Tokyo metro area use public transport every single day.
That's good.
To be a city this large, you have to be able to get around without sitting in traffic too much. And the traffic in Tokyo can be biblical.
And I feel like in the United States, I feel like every state should have public transportation to where it's easier access to where you need to be. Say like if you don't want to get your license or you don't have a car, I feel like public transportation should be in every state to make it easier, especially if you're out and you're drinking. Take the public bus, the train, the subway, boom. You know what I'm saying? Prevents less accidents, but we know they're not gonna do that because they want more money going into the people who have to buy cars, and you know when you get stuff with a license, you gotta pay just to get shit like this, and you gotta pay this, and then you pay that, and you gotta pay for the tags, you pay to renew your license. All this shit is because it's just money driven. That's it. They will never do a public transportation. Only certain cities, certain states have this, but now I feel like every state should have it to make it easier for everybody.
Cool. Public transport within Greater Tokyo is dominated by the world's most extensive urban rail network. This is the rail network for LA, Rome, Delhi. And watch what happens when we overlay the Tokyo rail network.
Oh my gosh.
Shinjuku Station in central Tokyo is the world's busiest railway station, certified by Guinness World Records. The entire population of Berlin or Los Angeles moves through this station every day. With over 200 different spots to enter and exit, this station is nauseatingly complicated. Even for the most efficient public transport system in the world, with that many people, no matter how many trains you have, some of them are gonna get pretty crowded. Most big cities have a central downtown area where everyone goes and where everything converges. All of the business, all the shopping, all of the culture. But Tokyo is so big that many different areas feel themselves like their own downtown. You can be in Shinjuku, feels like downtown. Then hop on the metro and go 45 minutes in one direction. Get out, still feels like downtown. Hop on the metro again, 45 minutes in another direction, and yep, you're still in downtown. Because there's no real downtown, many districts of Tokyo specialize into a specific kind of culture or vibe.
So they pretty much have downtowns in Tokyo everywhere, but it's not really a downtown, but there is downtowns. Damn, so everywhere you go is pretty much downtown. Crazy.
Akihabara is the anime town, a major hub for otaku culture, video games, anime, manga, and electronics. The streets in Akihabara are filled with everything anime culture, and you'll see cosplayers on the sidewalks all the time. Harajuku is the center of Japanese youth culture. You'll see people here wearing all different types of alternative fashion. Asakusa is the temple district. It's filled with Buddhist temples, traditional craft shops, and traditional festivals.
Every city has like their own like. Man, that's not bad. That's actually pretty neat though. Got one for the anime section, games and all that. Got the one for like the, you know what I'm saying, for like the stylists. You know what I'm saying? Try to look good for the social media, the gram. I don't know.
Is the premium luxury center. It has a 12-story Uniqlo, high-end department stores, and people on the street wearing every luxury brand that you can think of. In the mid-1970s, the UN started to use the term megacity to refer to urban areas that had more than 10 million people. New York City became the world's first megacity in the 1930s. But Tokyo quickly surpassed it, and then surpassed it again,
That's
and then
crazy,
again,
bro.
and then again. Tokyo pioneered many of the systems that we take for granted today in a city of that scale. Just ask Jeremy Clarkson.
The meters have infrared sensors, so if you come back and feed them every hour, they know you haven't moved your car.
When the traffic's getting sticky, the information is fed to drivers via huge boards located above every major route around the city.
Traffic between Tokyo and Osaka for the tens of millions of people that live there was getting out of hand, so they invented the bullet train to fix it.
And it looks like a bullet. This super express that thrusts aside all...
So you're telling me that the U.S. can't do something like this? For traffic won't be heavy like this? They can't, just they don't want to do. That's why I told you they're doing everything. That's why you gotta pay for gas. You gotta, you know, pay for to get your car fixed. That's what they want. They want you. That's what they're pushing all that to the car thing. If they did public transportation, I bet you 99% of the U.S. population of the United States will use public transportation, and then you just pay a monthly fee for the pass. I feel like if there was public transportation everywhere in every state, I feel like people would do that. Just pay for the monthly like a pass, and that'll be like the bus, the train, subway station. You just scan it, boom, get on. So and you just pay like $15 a month, or $20 a month, or $10 a month monthly for it, and that will. But they won't do that. Tell you right now, if they did that, I'm pretty sure a lot of people from US would literally just do public transportation to get where they need to be anyway. You know what I'm saying? In the first place.
Existing ideas of train speed.
They also built the world's largest sewer. Hello. What's fascinating about all this is that 400 years ago, Tokyo didn't exist. Or it did exist, but it was just a fishing village. And it wasn't called Tokyo, it was called Edo. In 1603, Japan changed. The Warring States period ended with the victory of the Tokugawa shogunate, unifying all of Japan. The Tokugawa moved their de facto capital to Edo. As a result, concentrating all political and economic power of Japan in a single city. As this city grew, it attracted even more powerful people from across the country. Samurais, merchants, craftspeople. Edo was in the perfect location to grow during this period because it was a port city on Japan's largest flat piece of land. That meant that there was plenty of food that could be grown in the surrounding area and then easily transported in to the growing, hungry population via canals and rivers. Edo grew so large and so significant that the next 200 years is known to this day as the Edo period. Some estimates even put it as the largest city in the world in the 1700s, at over 1 million.
I feel like that's kind of like a lot of cities though. They become like big and all that, how like, they start out like not that good, and then people just say them with Vegas. Vegas is growing big, and now people are moving into Vegas now. I feel like Vegas is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, just like that, but
people.
Yeah.
In the mid-1800s, after 200 years of isolation, Japan opened up to foreign trade and Western ideas, causing rapid social and economic change.
Emperor.
Edo's name was changed to Tokyo during this period, Eastern capital, and it began to industrialize rapidly, drawing even more rural people into the city to work in the factories. The city grew by millions. Tokyo was becoming a city defined by change. Change from the fishing village to the capital. Change in the form of several great fires that even burned the entire city down, multiple times. But in the end, Tokyo always rose back from the ashes. Looking at Tokyo in the modern day, one of the most common things I see is all the people on social media talking about how cheap it is to live there.
I would say that the cost of living is still much, much cheaper than the US, every way.
But the thing is, usually these TikTok posts list prices in dollars, US dollars. Americans especially are used to paying American prices for their food and their rent.
I'm sorry,
Especially are
look right
used
here.
to
Eggs should not. There's no fuck, bro. Eggs should not be no $20 for a dozen of eggs. $20 for a 12 packet.
paying American prices for their food and their rent.
16. No, but no.
So when
no,
they fly into
shouldn't.
Japan and the prices are so much lower, in dollars, it's a shock. But meanwhile, in general, Japanese salaries are a lot lower.
だいたいまあ25くらいですね。
20ちょっととか30よくて30手前ぐらいですね。
そう、その月によるんですけど、20から23、4万ぐらいです。
Added to this is the whiplash of perception of what Japan is today versus what it was like 30 years ago. Look at how these news reports from the 90s used to talk about it.
A critical essay on the Japanese challenge to American business.
If you're an American business in a high-tech industry competing with the Japanese, you are in the business of going out of business.
Tonight on Frontline, losing the war with Japan.
That's crazy.
There was a time when Japanese salaries exceeded American ones.
1 out of every 3 cars sold in America is Japanese. And
That is true though. Most of like the car companies that we like, they made in Japan to get shipped over here. The same thing with the iPhones. They made in a different country and they get shipped over here. And most of them good cars, like them old school cars we see in like Fast and Furious, is made in Tokyo or in
along with the
Japan.
recession, spells big trouble for U.S. automakers.
But then over time, Japan stagnated, and America well surpassed it in only a few decades.
I mean, the Cold War is over and Japan won.
Hey man, y'all know what you think down below, man. But that is most of the cars we see in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, made in Tokyo, made in Japan, and those are some fantastic, great cars. They just cost a lot. Yeah.